Hey y'all, what's up? This is Rosie. Um, since it's October, I wanted to do something kind of creepy. What's creepier than a creepypasta? Now, creepypastas used to be popular creepy stories that you heard on someone's channel some years back, and they fell out of fashion gradually as things do over the years. But this was something I did in response to another story. Now, it was inspired by the creepypasta reading by Mr. Creepypasta of a story called I Didn't Kill My Daughter, written by Your Daily Dose of Fear. When the story begins, you feel sorry for the father. He had just lost his daughter, he lost his wife, and it seemed as if he were being wrongly accused of having killed his daughter. As the story goes on, though, without any spoilers, the atmosphere of the story becomes much darker. Even Mr. Creepypasta says so in the description of his reading. Now, before you get into this, please go to Mr. Creepypasta's page and listen to the story I Didn't Kill My Daughter. I will try to remember to link it in the description if I can scroll down far enough, because this has been years ago. While you are there, like the story and subscribe to his page. And please tell him that Gen X Rosie sent ya. When you are done there, come back and listen to justice being served in this creepypasta, my first and only one, and I hope you enjoy my first ever creepy reading. It was so cold when I got there. I felt cold before, like in the snow during winter or when I had to go into the freezer at work or whatever, but this cold was unspeakable, almost unreal. This cold felt almost like fire, and I couldn't stand it. I didn't know where I was or why I was there until... Oh yeah, now I remember. My mom was killed while enjoying a night out, and when I needed my dad the most, he did all he could to push me away. He made sure to tear me down and make me hate myself, make me hate my life. He took everything away from me, every friend, every ounce of support, every hint of love from others, and made me think no one wanted me around. I didn't want to be there anymore, and I wanted to die. It was my only escape from that evil man. I tried to find my way out of the cold, not seeing anything around any way out. I just knew I had to get out of there. Suddenly, I heard a sweet voice calling me, leading me out of that area, wherever it was. I got turned around a few times, but that voice, that sweet, angelic voice, always guided me back. Finally, I made my way to a beautiful green meadow, and the warmth of the sun's rays radiated to my very soul. I looked around and never felt so at peace. I felt like... It was like I had made it home. I explored the surrounding area until I came to a beautiful waterfall. The serenity of it all just made me smile. I was about to sit and enjoy it until I felt a gentle nudge and heard the sweet voice again. I turned around and there was my mother. She was so beautiful in the most gorgeous white robes. She looked more vibrant than I had ever seen her. She literally glowed from within. She looked like an angel. I guess she heard my thoughts because she told me she wasn't an angel, but was a lot like one. I went to her and she hugged me. I melted in her familiar embrace and warm tears cascaded down my cheeks. Mom, I never thought I'd see you again, I told her. I wish you weren't here yet, and you aren't supposed to be. I do understand why you're here, though, she said back. I couldn't take it anymore, Mom. He didn't want me. He told me to come join you. I told her. I know, honey. And if he thinks that I can still love him after something like that, if he thinks he can get away with it, her voice trailed off. I looked at my mother and saw something in her eyes I'd never seen before. Her eyes turned coal black. No color, no sclera, just two black pits of darkness. Like I never knew existed. We're going to get him for this, love, Mom said. There is absolutely no way he is going to get away with it. What are we going to do? I asked. Just follow my lead, sweetie, she answered. It was a year later, and the guilt was eating away at him. He tried to convince himself that getting rid of me was the best thing he could have possibly done. He couldn't convince himself to put down the bottle, though. He also couldn't convince himself to not mistreat subsequent dates and girlfriends. He often found himself gazing at pictures of Mom and me, and when the human side of him tried to sneak in and urge out a tear, he'd smirk and throw back another shot. In bed at night, he'd hear mine or Mom's voice taunting him in his sleep. We made sure to give him no rest in his waking hours, either. We moved items he desperately needed, and we'd stare at him through every mirror. We even put on a brief show for him during a football game once. Only our pale, dead faces transfixed on him from inside the TV screen. His work suffered. Friends and family stopped responding to him, and the FBI became suspicious of him again when the note he left me wound up in their offices. He couldn't take it anymore, so he got up to pour himself another drink in the kitchen. That weak asshole was nothing more than a lush when I was alive, and was more so even now. Mom thought it would be perfect time to screw with his head. Sure, when he's sober, he'd be able to say that seeing or hearing us was the product of being drunk. He wouldn't always be able to deny us, though. Murderer, I whisper-yelled so that the sound echoed throughout the house. You killed my daughter, my mom yelled in his mind. Why'd you kill me, Daddy? What did I do? I asked him oh so innocently. You knew she loved you, you monster. She needed you, Mom accused. Dad yelled and ran out of the room, looking around. Leave me alone, he screamed. Just leave me alone. He heard mine and Mom's evil laughter throughout the whole house. He knew that this wasn't over, not until we said so. We were going to make him pay for what he did to me. I had no idea that he hated me so much, and I never asked to be born in the first place. There was absolutely no reason for him to do what he did. We tortured him every single day, not letting up off the taunting and the guilt tripping. We wanted him to go crazy, to do to him what he did to me. If we didn't drive him to suicide, we were going to damn well make him wish he were dead. We wanted to wear him down to the lowest common denominator, until there was nothing left but the memories of everything he did and said. There is nothing like the satisfaction of seeing a person getting what they deserve, and seeing that moment of clarity hit them before they break. They get this gleam in their eye that shows you that they wished they'd have done things differently. You see them rethinking their lives and mentally asking, what the hell was I thinking? That's what we wanted to do to Dad, and it was starting to work. We drove him to the brink without any mercy. You know, the same thing he did to me. Well, finally, we had done it. We broke the idiot down, and if not for him, causing my death and all, I'd have probably felt sorry for him. But the feelings of anger, resentment, and searing hatred I had for the loser, along with the fact that my heart saved the life of a 7-year-old girl, so I no longer had one, prevented any feelings of sympathy. Mom and I decided to take a stroll down memory lane and visited the old house. I missed my old room and the cool life I lived before Mom was killed, so I didn't see the harm in giving the old place a visit. When we got there, we watched from a dark corner as Dad followed a very angry woman through the house. He was making excuses and she was not having any of it. "Dolores, come on, honey, I've never had that problem before," he said. "Yeah, well, neither have I," she snapped while looking for and finding her second boot. "Babe, just come back to bed, I swear it won't happen again," he pleaded. "Yeah, you're right, it won't," she said. "We're through. I can't believe I actually lost my boyfriend because of you. I was dumb enough to let you charm me, and I lost the best lay of my life over it," she yelled. "Dolores, baby, come on, I'll make it up to you," he promised. "Bull," she said, holding the front door open. "I almost envy your wife. At least she doesn't have to deal with that crap anymore. Bye, loser," she said, slamming the door. I would have giggled had it not been so gross. Mom actually did laugh and said it was all true. She put up with it, though, because she loved the idiot. She said she was just thankful for her secret stash of personal appliances and ample enough alone time. I had no response to that, to be perfectly honest. Anyway, I decided to wander off to my old room. The memories, both good and bad, came flooding back to me as soon as I walked in. I remember the days of doing homework while talking on the phone, chatting with friends on social media and on my cell phone. I remembered how happy I thought my family was. I also remembered what all Dad did to make me take my own life. The diabolical bastard never wanted me, but that was not my fault. I never asked to be here. And he could have let me live with relatives. That idiot just didn't want anybody to love me. I was snapped back to reality, though, by a beautiful sound, and I ran to Dad's room to see what it was. Mom was dressed in all black, and her hair was covering all but one black eye, as she hovered over the coward of a father. Well, that's how she looked to him anyway. To me, she was still dressed in the purest white flowing gowns, and she looked more protective than threatening. When my dad looked over where I was, he screamed even louder. Apparently, I was in a dirty white gown with stringy black hair covering my face. To him, my laugh sounded menacing, but I sounded like a normal teenage girl to me. Hell, I thought the whole thing was freaking hilarious. "You murderer," my mom and I said in unison. "Leave me alone! Leave me the hell alone!" Dad screamed. "Why'd you do it, Daddy?" I asked. "Didn't you love me?" "Get out of here," he stammered. "Get the hell out of here and leave me alone." "You killed my little girl. You could have let someone else have her, let someone else love her, but you had to make her die. Now, we're going to do the same to you," Mom threatened. "You can't kill me," Dad said. "You can't kill me when you're dead." "Maybe not physically, Daddy dearest, but we can kill your mind," I said and laughed. See, that's why I did it," he admitted. "I made you kill yourself because you were a disrespectful little bitch." "I never disrespected you, Dad," I shot back. "Not until you bullied me every single damn day." "And now we're bullying you back," said Mom. "But why you, honey? I thought we loved each other. I thought we were beautiful together," Dad pleaded. "I did love you, until I saw how you treated her and drove her to unaliving herself, you spineless creep," Mom snapped. "Now, I want you to suffer. I loved you, Daddy. I loved you only because you were my daddy. And I thought you loved me. You hated me. Now I hate you even more. I want you to burn. The police walked in with my dad swatting at what seemed to be the empty air. Well, it was empty to them at least. They had no clue why the house was as cold as a meat locker when the AC wasn't even on. I guess they didn't know that the air cooled considerably when spirits were present. He was ranting and raving at us that he was glad I was dead and he'd kill me again if he had the chance. That was all the evidence the police needed, but it made Mom even angrier. With shaky hands, Dad wrote out a full confession and he went to his cell thinking he was safe. The police kinda got tired of him screaming for someone to save him from me or Mom. After a full week of him doing so, we always haunted him. His dreams, his mirrors, his very thoughts were bombarded by Mom and me. The police just thought he was crazy, and after a while, so did the judge. The day he was about to be sent to a mental facility for the rest of his life, they found him hanging by some shoestrings from the unreachable window in his cell. They had him on a live watch, and he was on 24-hour surveillance. They still can't explain how their cameras went from showing no one in his cell when he was screaming like usual to him hanging by shoestrings 3 minutes later. They can't account for the 90 seconds of time missing from the footage. Nor can they explain how he smuggled shoestrings to his cell. All cells were thoroughly searched daily and all inmates given a formal stripping down. There were no shoestrings in any of the cells, and the inmates on Dad's floor had no cellmates. Most importantly, how in the world did he reach that window? To them, it was unexplainable. Not many people went to Dad's funeral. Just the usual family and friends showed up, more out of obligation than anything else. When he was arrested, it didn't take long for everyone to be angry at him for what he'd done. He made them all believe that I had just become incorrigible and, well, the truth was, he drove me to do it, tore me down until I couldn't take any more and told me to, Mom and I are at peace now. We live each day singing and dancing. We look at the flowers and the waterfalls and we just exist over here. Dad, well, we don't know how or where he is. After Mom was done with him, we returned and he was nowhere near us. We imagine he's getting what he deserves where he most deserves it. I guess what they say is true. Karma does catch up to those who deserve it eventually, and she can be a real witch when pushed hard enough. Thanks, Mom. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. Give me a like and comment, and if you want to hear more originals from me, just let me know. I do have some original stories and stuff on my page, so just look for those, or I'll link them if you want me to. Hell, fuck it, I'll link it anyway. But I'm gonna go. As usual, there is a donations link in the description. Those donations will help me to keep things afloat here, keep the bills paid so I can keep making videos and keep food on the table. So if you can help me out, help support me and my channel, I would appreciate it greatly, and I thank you so much in advance. A wise man once said, you have to build your tribe one person at a time. If you would like to be a part of my tribe, hit that subscribe button. No matter what generation you are from, I would be so glad to have you. So thank you so much for spending time with me, wasting time with me. I love you guys so much for doing that. I hope to see y'all on the next upload. Bye for now.